watching Keeping It Green. I'm your host, Debbie Klughers, and today I have with me Dr. Arthur Kopelman, and he is the president of CRESLI, which is the Coastal Research and Educational Society of Long Island.
Education Society of Long Island.
Terrific.
Absolutely.
Thank you for coming.
My pleasure.
And you know that we like to start off the show with an environmental tip. And I found a great bunch of information on Sea Grant, another great ocean site. Mm-hmm. And we'll talk a little bit about that, and then we'll get started on,
sure.
on what you guys do. So, well, the first thing that they say is learn all you can about the ocean.
Absolutely.
So I guess the more you know, the more you can help it.
Absolutely.
And be a smart shopper. This is an important thing with buying seafood and stuff, making sure the seafood is sustainable and harvested in a way that it doesn't damage ecosystems and, you know, stuff like that.
Also when you're in a restaurant.
Right, exactly. I ask where is this from, and, you know, sometimes they don't know, but the better restaurants seem to know where their food is coming from. And there's little seafood guides from the Blue Ocean Institute or Monterey Bay Aquarium you can download and take it with you, put it in your wallet. And
I always have one with me.
There you go. And you can print them out for different areas of the country where you're at. You know, that you can print northeast, southeast, stuff like that. Conserve water, you know, and also with watering your lawns and cleaning cars, you know, stuff like that with the runoff. And, you know, they want you to kind of watch what you're doing at home. Reduce waste, recycle, compost. All these seem to be really land-based tips, but it all ends up in the ocean.
Maybe that's the key point, that it all ends up in the ocean.
Yeah.
And you can't separate one from the other.
Right. And people might not realize that what they do in their yard would impact the ocean. And speaking about the yard, pesticides, fertilizers, even cleaners. Right. You know, we have to watch, you know, what we use, maybe try to get more biodegradable cleaners and cut down or eliminate fertilizers, chemical fertilizers.
And eliminate pesticides.
Absolutely, because they tend to destroy larvae of little fish and crabs and all that kind of thing.
And they concentrate throughout the food webs. So top-level predators like toothed whales have incredibly high levels of organochlorines, pesticides. Mothers can pass them on to their offspring in mother's milk. Males just keep it.
Right, that's what I've heard.
Yeah.
And, you know, when they talk about
same thing with seals.
Right.
Yeah.
And when the Japanese and the whaling and all that kind of thing, you know, I kind of think that they're feeding their people poison meat, you know, if they would check the concentration of these chemicals.
Actually, there are a bunch of studies showing that in some various places where folks are feeding on things like dolphin meat, that they are getting pretty high levels of organochlorines.
Not only mercury that everybody knows about,
but other stuff as well. And they are getting mercury and other pesticides. If they're feeding on things like minke whale, levels are not as high just because they're not really top-level predators. They're feeding a bit lower in the food web.
Okay. So,
not to say that it's the right thing to do, but yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, it's not helpful for people either. Right. Protect ocean wildlife. Don't dispose of fishing line, nets, gear on or even near the water, because again, everything kind of runs off into the ocean. I'm trying to get a monofilament recycling program going here in the town of East Hampton, and we'll see how that goes. But other than that, people should take their fishing line, cut it up in little pieces, and throw it in their trash. It's not recyclable, but that's the best way to. If you don't have a program in your town, that's the best way to.
And if you're walking down the beach and you see that stuff, pick it up.
Pick it up and bring it home.
Sure, and if you see people leaving that stuff, then sort of politely explain to them.
You forgot something.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there are just this winter and last winter, several winters now, looking at the seal populations. There's a seal out at Montauk that we've been able to recognize for 3 years in a row, although I don't think it was there this year, by this being strangled by some line.
So it's been around its neck for 3 years?
Right. Out at Kopelman this year, it was a seal there for several months that was also there last year that was being strangled by rope. And I haven't seen it since the middle of February, but...
Probably died.
I have no idea. But it was deeply, deeply strangled.
And it's very, very difficult to catch these animals.
Right, you can't. There's a little kid asked me the other day, I was talking to a group of scouts, and they said, well, I showed them a close-up. He said, why didn't you just go and get it? And you can't. This animal was a couple hundred feet off in a sandbar, and until it gets debilitated enough to end up in a place where it can be picked up, there's nothing you can do.
Right. Sad.
But to stop it in the first place.
Right.
Yeah.
And a lot of these creatures do end up being compromised due to all this kind of entanglement.
Absolutely.
It's really
Absolutely.
sad. Ooh, okay. Be considerate of sea life and their habitat. Don't feed the birds, the turtles. Don't feed marine mammals. If you see them out there, keep your distance. Do not approach them. Let them be.
Leave them
it's
alone.
their space.
That's it. Absolutely.
And let's see. Oh, get involved. Take part in a beach cleanup or join or volunteer at an organization such as CRESLI.
Absolutely. We use volunteers in all our work. Volunteers, all of us, even the folks who are the officers and the board of directors, we're all volunteers.
Wow.
And volunteers help us in our seal studies. They help us in our whale studies. They help in everything that we do. So.
Now, we were talking earlier, and you go out of Montauk and other places?
Montauk for whales.
And
yeah.
you do whale watching, but you enlist the people that come out to help you be kind of scientists
sure.
along with you.
Part of the whale watching is an educational experience, and then our volunteers are essentially from all walks of life, from all ages, above 18 and above, and they get trained, and it's citizen science. They help spot and they help record data, and of course they're learning as they go, and they're sharing that information with others.
So they don't need any college degrees. You train them, and
they get trained. There's several hours of sort of in-house training, and then it's on-the-job training.
Where is the training? Where would that take place?
Most of the training has taken place at Dowling College.
Okay.
This
at
summer,
Oakdale?
in Oakdale. Mm-hmm. This summer there may be also some training out at Riverhead Foundation.
Great.
This summer, the whale watching has been since 1997 a sort of combined effort of CRESLI and the Viking Fleet. Mm-hmm. I've been working with the Viking Fleet since 1992, mm-hmm. Leading whale watching trips. Before that with another organization, and then with CRESLI since '97. And this coming summer we'll be out probably 5 days a week. So I've asked some folks from the Riverhead Foundation to help cover on the days that I can't. So okay. It'll be sort of a combined effort of CRESLI, Viking Fleet, and the Riverhead Foundation.
So people can go on your website, which is CRESLI.org.
They can go to follow the links for a volunteer application, mm-hmm. fill out an application, and we'll contact them about the training and take it from there. Our volunteers, all we ask is that they commit minimally 1 day every 2 weeks, preferably 1 day a week.
And what are some of the things that they would be involved in?
Well, for the summer, it's all involved in whale watching.
Wow.
And whale observations. They
should be getting a lot of volunteers.
It should be. We've got a sort of a group of about 100 folks who are on our list of volunteers, and of that, probably about 20% that are real active and do stuff, and we're always looking for more. And we have many. Last year we went out 3 days a week, and now we're going out 5. So we'll be using volunteers again from CRESLI and from the Riverhead Foundation. So.
And you have a very high success rate of seeing these animals. They're not rare. They're actually very common in these waters.
They are. It's last year we had 75% success rate for our local trips, and we had stopped. And,
let's just back up a second.
Sure.
Talk about the kind of animals that you see on these trips.
Oh, absolutely. Good idea. Well, our most frequent would be fin whales. Mm-hmm. Fin whales are the second largest species of whale and the second largest species of animal ever to have lived.
Wow.
And we have fin whale resident population here